ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's episode of Classic Movie Buffet Theater. Thank you all so much for joining me today. We sneaked in a couple of more subscribers, which is fantastic. Thank you all so much. Welcome to the Mafia family. I hope you enjoy the content. Now, on today's episode of Classic Movie Buffet Theater, we're going to talk about a movie that came out on February 26th of 1988. And this film has a cult following, which helps it stand the test of time pretty much. And it was directed by Newt Arnold. Now, Newt Arnold only directed 3 films. He directed 3 films, but he was either first assistant director or second assistant director for such films as Made in America, The Guardian from 1990, and Blade Runner from 1982. Now, he was first assistant director for each one of those films. I have seen Made in America. That's the one with Whoopi Goldberg and Ted Danson. It's a great comedy film. And I've seen The Guardian from 1990, which is an excellent horror film. Blade Runner from 82, I own it, but I have not seen it yet. I think I have it, and I have the reboot, and I've seen either one of those. So, and the film we're going to talk about today from 1988, Bloodsport, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, who plays the character of Frank Dukes, and he played in such films as Kickboxer, Double Team, and a little film called Replicant. Now, this is not the first time I've mentioned the Replicant film in my videos. Like I said, it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme film where he plays 2 people, much like Double Impact, and that Replicant stars the great Michael Rooker. So I am a big fan of that film. Kickboxer and Double Team, fantastic films. If you like action flicks, kickboxing stuff, martial arts, they're great films. Double Team was a fantastic movie, not only because of Jean-Claude Van Damme, but because of Mickey Rourke, who played the villain in that film. Fantastic. I love Mickey Rourke in a villain role, and he was excellent in that film. The film also stars Donald Gibb, who plays the character of Jackson, and he had a little cameo in a film called U.S. Marshals with Tommy Lee Jones. He also starred in Revenge of the Nerds and a little film called Meatballs 3. Now, Meatballs 3 was kind of I think Meatballs 3 was a cash grab at that time. They tried to build up 2 more movies off of the success of the first film with Bill Murray, and it didn't work. They were decent comedy films, but they were never as good as the first film. U.S. Marshals, fantastic movie. Wesley Snipes, Tommy Lee Jones, Donald Gibb has a little cameo in that film. That's an awesome movie. It was a sequel to The Fugitive with Harrison Ford. Fantastic movie. Revenge of the Nerds. What can you say about Revenge of the Nerds? That movie was classic 80s comedy goodness. That's all you can say about that film. That movie is fantastic. And Bloodsport also starred a very young Forrest Whitaker, who plays the character of Rollins, and he also played in such films as Black Panther, Species, and a film called Phenomenon with John Travolta. All 3 of those films, awesome movies. Forrest Whitaker is such he's not a grounded character. He can play so many different characters in so many different roles. He's fantastic. Okay, so the plot for this film is an American martial artist serving in the army leaves to compete in a martial arts tournament in Hong Kong. where fights to the death can occur. All right, so with that being said, let's check out the trailer for Bloodsport. Let's get it.
For centuries, the Society of the Black Dragon has sanctioned an ancient rite of combat, known as the Kumite, open only to the world's most lethal warriors. It has never been won by a Westerner.
You are not Japanese. I can do it.
Now, for the first time, the true story of America's super agent, Frank Dukes, can be revealed.
Uncle Sam can't afford to let you get hurt. I'm going to Hong Kong. Frank is going to fight in the Kumite, and we're here to stop him.
An awesome human weapon.
It hurts me just looking at it.
Who infiltrates the Chinese underworld.
I did not come this far to stop now.
Take it.
To enter a forbidden competition.
Couldn't you just get me in?
Strict rules, no press.
You telling me you never break rules?
Where every fighting style, every worthy opponent, every deadly technique clash in savage combat.
Time to separate the men from the boys.
And only one will triumph.
Now I break you.
International martial arts sensation Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, the true story of the ultimate champion.
All right, that was the trailer for Bloodsport from 1988, starring the great Jean-Claude Van Damme. The budget for the film was $1,100,000, and the worldwide gross on the film was $11,807,584. So not bad, not bad. It did pretty good. It helped boost Van Damme's career at that time, and I thought it was a decent film. I thoroughly enjoyed the film. Van Damme shines here because it's his type of film. He doesn't need a stuntman because he did his own stunts in that film. The fight choreography is very good, showing all different styles of the martial arts. Well, not all, but very different styles of the martial arts throughout the film. The characters are fun and easy to like or hate. Bolo Yeung is absolutely fantastic as the bad guy, Chong Li. He is absolutely brilliant and intimidating in this role. A cinematic work that definitely deserves its place in the history of martial arts films. After seeing Chong Li in this film, I wanted to watch more of his films. Of course, he played in Enter the Dragon with the great Bruce Lee. But there were some other films that he did that were direct-to-video, DVD type deals. And those were good. Those were really good. He has always been played as a bad guy in most of them. I think there was 2 films that came out later on in his years where he was the good guy, and it was called Shoot Fighter and Shoot Fighter 2. And he played a good guy in those 2 films. But he was synonymous as a bad guy. And this was not the only film that he starred in with Van Damme. He was in Double Impact, and he was in, oh, Lord. Yeah, he was in Double Impact. There was another one that he was in. There was a couple of other films that he did with Van Damme that were really good films. So he was synonymous as a martial arts villain over the years. Trivia for this film: Jean-Claude Van Damme actually knocked out Bernard Mariano with his elbow. The scene was left in the film. Now, I think the one that you're talking about is Bernard Mariano played a character by the name of Hassan, and they had a little altercation at the hotel, and then he ended up having to fight him in the tournament, and that's when he did the old back elbow, and knocked him flat on his butt, knocked him out. But like I've said before, accidents like that do happen in films. It's just kind of neat to see, that they actually left that in the film. This was one of the few films featuring scenes filmed inside Kowloon walled city before its destruction. And it was a great setting. It was a great area to film at for this film. It added to the grit, of the film. It was just a great location to film at. It's sad that it had to be destroyed. Supposedly based on a true story, over the years, doubts have arisen about its veracity. It is now generally believed that Dukes lied his way into Hollywood and has most likely never competed in a martial arts tournament. Dukes' personal brand of martial arts, Dukes Ryu Ninjutsu, is also a complete fabrication. Now, don't let that take anything away from the film. Even though it's supposedly based on this guy's life, Frank Dukes' life, the film is a good martial arts film if you like that kind of stuff. And it's just sad that this guy thought that he had to fabricate his history just to get a film made about him. But I guess sometimes that does happen in the entertainment biz. Excuse me. But, it in no way takes anything away from the film. The film is absolutely fantastic, I think. Otherwise, it wouldn't have such a cult following. Frank Dukes was the fight choreographer for the film. When Van Damme was cast, Dukes said that Van Damme wasn't in nearly good enough shape for the film and put him through a 3-month training program. Van Damme, a world champion martial artist in his own right, called it the hardest training of his entire life. I mean, the guy is completely ripped. I mean, how much in shape do you have to be? I think that was just Dukes, poking in his own feelings in the film, which it's okay. It didn't really hurt anything. Van Damme was an awesome physical specimen, still is to this day. So it didn't hurt anything. A majority of Bolo Yeung's lines are similar to Bruce Lee's in Enter the Dragon from 1973, in which Bolo Yeung also appeared. So, Chong Li didn't speak much in this film at all, but the few lines that he did have, I guess, were similar to Bruce Lee's from Enter the Dragon. Frank Dukes was originally supposed to be played by Michael Dudikoff. The filmmakers apparently passed on Dudikoff because the 6'2" actor was too tall. Michael Dudikoff is a martial artist in his own right. If you've seen, the movies before with him, there was Avenging Force, there was the American Ninjas. I think he was in 1, 2, and then 4. And I think that was it, 1, 2, and 4. So he did 3 of those films, which all those films are pretty good. They're not bad. They substituted Michael Dudikoff in 3 and I think 5 for Doug Bradley or David Bradley. I can't remember which. He's a Bradley. Excuse me. But, and the films kind of suffered for that. I think they suffered quite a bit. Even though Bradley was in 4 and Michael Dudikoff returned for part 4, he didn't play a big role in it, but he did come back in part 4. Stephen James also played in those films with him. They're good movies. They're good, a good set of films. There's about, like I said, there's 5 of them. The trailer features Sylvester Levy's chase music from his score of Cobra in 1986. So, that's kind of cool there. Taking a little bit of music from Sylvester Stallone and using it in your own film. Of course, Cobra didn't own the rights to the movie, of course. It was Sylvester Levi's score, so he owned it, so I guess that was okay. Like I said, I found this film really, really fantastic. I enjoyed it so much. I still watch it when it comes on TV, or I dig it out if I want to watch a kick butt movie. I'll dig it out and pop it in and watch it. It's a good watch. Like I said, it's got a cult following, so, it's kind of stood the test of time. A lot of people know what you're talking about when you say Bloodsport. They know what you're talking about. Van Damme has had a kind of off and on type career. He's done a lot. He's really done a lot. But more so now is straight to DVD than anything. I don't think he's had anything come out in theaters in a while, other than Expendables 2, I think was, he was out in theaters. But, other than that, I don't think he's really had anything come out in theaters at all. But still, he's out there. He's still making movies, making martial arts films with, best he can. And some of them are pretty good. I think one of the more recent ones that I've seen him in, after Expendables was The Shepherd, and that was a really good film. So if you haven't seen that, check that one out. And you like these type of films. But he's done some comedies. He's done a little bit of this, a little bit of that, kind of delved into different things to keep himself going. He's a fantastic actor in these types of films and these type of roles. But if you have not seen this film, definitely check this film out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. You'll find something about it. Donald Gibb is fantastic. He's funny. He's got some one-liners in here that are really funny. Forrest Whitaker does an awesome job as Rollins in the film. And it kind of solidified his career, I think. Because you got to start somewhere. Look at Kevin Bacon. I mean, he started in Friday the 13th and just built his career from there. And he's a big star now. I mean, a big guy in the entertainment business. So, excuse me, I'm coming down with something, I think, or something. But that being said, we're going to end the video here. Apologize for my coughing during the video and stuff. So there will not be a Mikey Saturday Nightmares, like I said in my video before this. Saturday is going to be moving day. I'm going to be tied up all day. So I won't have a video out Saturday. And hopefully I will have a video out by next Thursday. If not Thursday, it'll be Saturday. But I will keep you guys up to date on that. So just stay tuned for that. Let me know in the comment section below if you like Van Damme's films. What's some of your favorite Van Damme movies? And if you haven't seen this one, let me know if you're going to check it out. Did it slide under your radar, or are you interested to watch it now? Or, just shoot me a comment about anything. So, like I said, there won't be another video until Thursday of next week. And if not Thursday, it'll be Saturday, but I will post something to let you guys know what's going on. So I'm going to end the video here, and I guess I will see you guys in the new place once I get it set up. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thank y'all so much for watching.